Hi guys, welcome to the second video on linear equations. Now we will be looking at how to solve a linear equation. Now you might think that what is great in this topic? Let me tell you that we are not learning mathematics here. Please remember we are learning quantitative aptitude. So our job would be is how to save my number of steps, which will in turn help us to save my time in the examination. Point number 2 that we need to learn here is going to be that how do I simplify my process, because generally when we are solving at a time pressure, complicated process or complicated methods might make us commit a mistake in the examination, which in turn might fetch us negative marks in the examination. So it's very important for us to simplify, reduce our number of steps, which will eventually help us to move towards accuracy and save time in the examination. So let's look at 7 to 8 different examples on how to solve different kind of equations altogether. So the first example is basically a very simple example. This is also a video that will help generally all the non-math students who are afraid of maths to get a small grip over this topic altogether. Right. Now, the first question is very simple. X minus 3 is equal to 5. So if I need to take this 3 onto my right hand side, that becomes a plus value. So directly the value of x becomes 3 plus 5, or in short, the value of x is equal to 8 here. Right. Let's look at the next question. Now, this question can be solved in two ways. The question says 4 times of x minus 1 is equal to 12. The basic method says I open the brackets. So when I open the brackets, I get 4x minus 4 is equal to 12. Right. Now 4 goes on to my right, becomes a plus 4. So that becomes 4x is equal to 16. Now what generally do students do is they write x is equal to 16 by 4, that is equal to 4. Is this correct? Of course yes. But can I save time? Of course yes. Now first things first, I need not waste my time in writing this step. So I know that this is 4x, this is a minus 4. A minus 4 goes on to my right, becomes a plus 4. So point number 1, if you are not writing this step, much better, because it is nowhere helping us, and I would have expected this to be your step 1. Now second point is this step required? Now we know that if 4 is there beside x, this will come as a denominator here. Right. So let's learn a new term called linear division. When they are in the same equation format, I can directly cancel 4 ones are 4 fours are. So therefore the value of x becomes equal to 4. So was this an easy question? Of course yes, but you have to see whether you were able to solve this in one step or not. Clear guys? So this is the first learning here if you are going ahead in a basic manner. When I go ahead in the second fashion, if I know linear division, I can directly cancel 4 ones are and 4 threes. So if I have x minus 1 is equal to 3, minus 1 goes on to my right, becomes a plus 1. So therefore the value of x becomes equal to 4. So this is the challenge that we will be encountering. How do we reduce our number of steps, and how do we simplify the questions which are given to us? Now what my advice would be is, any question that will be flashing on the board, your job is to pause the video, right? Take a minute or two to solve, and then map your steps with my steps, and then see whether you have been able to replicate what I have been able to do or not. Let's look at the next question. So this question says 2 into 5x minus 3 minus 3 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. Now generally when we are not very strong in mathematics, we tend to ignore the brackets. Please understand, brackets are very important. Point number 2, whenever there is a minus sign inside the bracket and there is a minus sign outside the bracket, we need to be very careful. Right. Now how do we simplify this? My simplification point is simple. I bring all the like terms together. That means all the x's will come together. Let's see how do we simplify. My x's are coming from here. 2 5s is 10x. 3 into 2x is 6x. There is a minus sign. So 10x minus 6x would give me 4x in the least possible number of steps. Now all the constants will be moving on the right hand side. If you have a problem, you can just keep on writing them. You have a 9. 2 into 3 is 6. There is a minus sign, so that becomes a minus 6. Minus 6 goes on to my right, becomes a plus 6. Clear? Now this is a minus 3 into minus 1. Now minus 3 into minus 1 is plus 3. Plus 3 goes into my right, becomes a minus 3. So 9 plus 6 is 15 and 15 minus 3 is 12. So in short, we have 4x is equal to 12 or the value of x is equal to 3. So all I'm expecting you to do is answer this in 2 steps only. In case you're not been able to do it, it's okay if you take a bit of extra time, because to learn concepts, we take a bit of extra time. But once the concepts are learnt, then we are very quick enough to replicate the same concepts in the least possible time. So do not rush after speed first, rush after accuracy and learn how to hold the number of variables. So let's look at the next question here. Now this question says 5x minus 1 divided by 3 minus 2 times of x minus 2 divided by 4 is equal to 1. Now you have fraction here. If you have fractions here, when you would have paused the video and when you would have solved, you would have taken an LCM, right? Now what is the motive of LCM? LCM is used to equate my denominators, because addition or subtraction of fractions is done only when the denominators are equal. So what is LCM of 3 and 4? LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So one more way of making the denominator same is multiply the numerator and denominator with 4 in this case, and here multiply the numerator and denominator with 3 in this case. Clear? So I have 12 in the denominator, I can cross multiply, so 12 into 1 becomes 12, that becomes my right hand side. Bring all the like terms together. When I bring all the like terms together, 4 5s are is 20x. Clear? 3 into 2 is 6, 6 into x is 6x, there is a minus sign. So 20x minus 6x will give me how much, guys? 20x minus 6x will give me 14x. Now what we can do is we can take all the constants to the right hand side. So we have 4 into minus 1 is minus 4, goes on to my right, becomes a plus 4. Clear? 3 into 2 is 6, 6 into 2 is 12. Okay. So minus of minus 12 is plus 12. Clear? Right? Now plus 12 goes on to my right, becomes a minus 12 here. So plus 12 and minus 12 gets cancelled. So eventually what do we have? We have 14x is equal to 4, or the value of x is equal to 4 by 14, that is 2 by 7. So see to it that you are taking the least possible number of steps and also getting an accurate answer overall. Let's look at one more example in terms of fractions. Very easy question. When I cross multiply, this becomes 6x on the right hand side. I take 5x towards my right hand side. So 6x minus 5x is equal to plus x. On the left hand side, I have a minus 7, which means the value of x is equal to minus 7 in this case. Right? Now let's look at one more example here, guys. Let's quickly practice it. I repeat, please pause, solve on your own and then map your solution with mine. Now 5 2s is 10, right? So let's bring all the constants to the right hand side and let's bring all the like terms to the left hand side. So 5 into minus y gives me a minus 5y. Clear? On the right hand side, if you see 3 into y will give me a plus 3y. From right hand side, I bring towards a minus left hand side, that becomes a minus 3y. Clear? Now if I take my constants, this is 5 2s are 10 on my left hand side, goes on to my right, becomes a minus 10. Clear? Now 3 7s are is 21, which is on the right hand side only, so that becomes plus 21. Clear? So eventually what do we have here, guys? So we have minus 8y is equal to 11, or the value of y is equal to minus 11 by h. Right? So one last example that we'll see in this video. Now slightly complicated. When you feel things are slightly complicated, you can write the values with yourselves. So let's quickly look at all the x's on the left and all the constants on the right. So here I'll have 17 into minus x will give me a minus 17. 17 2s are 34, goes on to my right, becomes a minus 34. Minus 5 into x is a minus 5x on the left hand side. Minus 5 into 12 is minus 60, goes on to my right, becomes a plus 60. On the right hand side, I have 8 into 1, that is 8, which is plus 8. And on the right hand side, I have minus 56, comes on to my left, becomes a plus 56. Now 56 minus 17 and minus 5 will give me minus 22. So what is 56x minus 22x. Now what you can do here is, you can break 22 as minus 20 and minus 2. So 56 minus 20 gives you 36, 36 minus 2 gives you a 34. So this gives me a plus 34x. On the right hand side, if you observe, this is 68 and this is 34. 68 minus 34 will give me a plus 34 only. So 34 and 34 gets cancelled. The value of x is equal to 1. Clear guys? So I hope you learned how to reduce the number of steps. Following this video, you will have a test. Now all your job is to ensure that you are solving the test, and please do not forget the motive: less number of steps and accurate answers, and slowly move towards least possible time that you are taking per question. I hope you enjoyed this video guys. Thank you.